Hello students, good morning to all. So today we will discuss uh, on the topic networking terminology. So we are continuing lesson 1, that is the internet basics. So in the networking terminology, first of all today we discuss the first term internet. So as you know, the internet is the network of network, which is also called international network. So this internet is a computer network system and it connects the computers of the world, means all over the world's computers are connected to each other, and this network of computers are called internet. It is normally connecting through WAN and LAN. Which type of networks is used to make the internet? Wide area network and the local area networks. And these LAN and WANs are interconnected with the help of the routers and we are using gateway. With the help of the routers and gateway, internets are made. Now next is the internet. So it is a closed room computer network system. It covers a small area that we have also discussed, and only authorized people can access it. That is the intranet. So this is used to share files and resources of the organization securely, where the security issue is major concern. So in that cases, internet is used so that the outsiders cannot access the computers of the organization. Okay, so the private information of organization cannot be accessed by any outside persons, as it is protected by a firewall, and then internet firewall is also used. Example, we can take like the employee of the airlines are interlinked with each other. Employees of the airlines are interlinked with each other through the internet, so that they can access and modify the booking and flight data, but the same information cannot be accessed by the outsiders. So that is the internet. Next term is the extranet. This is also a sort of internet access which is granted only to a few. So a few persons, few outsiders can access the data of the internet, that is called the extranet. Next is the bandwidth. So this extranet is not in the syllabus. Bandwidth. So the range here, the bandwidth. What is the bandwidth? Bandwidth is the amount of data that can be transmitted in a fixed amount of time. So in a particular time, the amount of data which is transferred over the channel, that is called the bandwidth, and this bandwidth is expressed in terms of bits per second, kilobits per second, or kilobyte per second, or mbps. You are checking your network speed at the computer or on the mobile devices, that you will find kbps, kilobit per second, or mbps, megabit per second. This range of frequency used for transmitting a signal. So bandwidth is the range of frequency which are used for transmitting a signal without being substantially attenuated is called bandwidth. Substantially attenuated means its decreased strength. So without losing its signal strength, without losing its energy, if it is transmitted a particular destination, particular length, so that is the bandwidth. It is calculated as the, what is the bandwidth? Bandwidth is the difference between the highest and the lowest frequency of a channel. So if you calculate the difference between the higher frequency minus lowest frequency, that is called the bandwidth, and it is expressed in hertz. Example, you can take, suppose the minimum frequency of a channel is 100 hertz and the maximum frequency of that channel is 1000 hertz. So its bandwidth will be 1000 minus 100, that is the 900 hertz. Okay, so the bandwidth of a transmission medium is the frequency width of the medium, and is dependent upon its physical characteristics like the thickness, material, and length. Thickness of the channel, material of the channel, and the length of the channel. Example, the bandwidth of a coaxial cable is 750 megahertz. So some other terms are also there, that is the baseband. Basebands transmissions are those requiring low pass channels. Means the frequency range is starting from zero. So low pass channels, low frequency channels are called the baseband, and the bandwidth of the baseband channel is simply its maximum frequency because it starts from zero only. Band pass and pass band. Band pass is the electronic filter. These are the filters that allows the frequencies within a particular range. So while all the coming frequencies, it allow only the particular range frequencies to pass through it while screening out the other frequencies. So the outpass of a band pass filter is a pass band signal. So band pass output will be the pass band, means which allowable frequencies it will pass. Next term is the internet service provider. So internet service provider is a company which is offering access to the internet, like the Vodafone, Geo, BSNL. All these are the companies which provide you the internet service. So they offer various type of the service. Which type of the internet service providers providing service? Internet access, domain name registration, dial-up access, and lease line access. These four types of the services ISPs provides. Now ISP types. So ISP, internet service providers, classified into six categories. You can see six types of ISPs are there: access providers, mailbox providers, hosting ISPs, virtual ISPs, and free ISPs. So this is not in your syllabus, so little bit we will focus on this. Access providers provide access to the internet through telephone lines like the Wi-Fi or fiber optics, and the mailbox provider provides mailbox hosting services. Suppose if you want to make put your create your mailbox on the internet, and there every mail will be stored. So that is the mailbox provider. Hosting ISPs. So hosting ISPs offers email and other web hosting services like the such as virtual machine or cloud. If you want to prepare your cloud, if you want to take the cloud services, so they will provide the cloud service also. Virtual ISPs. Such ISPs offer internet access via other ISP services. So virtual means internet service providers offer you the internet access with the help of the other internet service providers service. Others means suppose by the name, suppose any service providers is not here. Suppose the Reliance is Geo is providing the internet service, and such any service which is not belongs to the Reliance, but they are offering you, that is the virtual. Free ISPs do not change for internet services. Okay, so next term, here some type of connections are also there over the internet. Dial-up connection, ISDN connection, DSL, cable TV internet connections, and the satellite internet connection wireless. Dial-up connections uses the telephone lines to connect PC to the internet. Little bit this is also not in your syllabus. So little bit we see that how the connections are established, how many different types of connections are there. So this dial-up connection requires the modem setup dial-up connection, and this modem which we have discussed, which is called the modulator and demodulator, it work as an interface between the personal computer and the telephone line. So personal computers generate the digital signals, and telephone line generates the analog signals, and modem is used to convert the analog into digital and digital to analog. So this dial-up connection follow protocols. One is the SLIP, which is called the serial line internet protocol, and triple P, which is called point-to-point protocol. So this two protocol is followed by the dial-up connection: SLIP, serial line internet protocol, and point-to-point protocol. You can see here the diagram of that. This is computer and modem, and digital signal generated by the computer modem converted is digital into the analog signal, as you can see, and it goes to the ISP internet service provider towers, and through this another tower, and here you get the modem running now again modem converting the analog signal to the digital. Now computer understand. Next is the ISDN, which is the Integrated Services Digital Network. This is one type of the connection. It establishes the connection using the phone lines which carry the digital signals. So ISDN is a phone line which carry the digital signal, not all analog signal. Analog signal is carried by the dial-up connection. So ISDN directly generates the digital signals. So these two techniques is used to deliver the ISDN services. One is the BRI, basic rate interface, and PRI, that is the primary rate interface. So this BRI consists of three distinct channels: single ISDN line, that is 1 to 64 kbps bearer channel, and one 16 kbps delta or data channel. So the PRI ISDN consists of 23 B channels and 1 D channels. So here you find 23 B channels are there, that is the bearer channel, and 1 D channels for the data channel, which have the operating capacity of 64 kbps, making a total transmission rate of 1.4 Mbps. This is all of the technology for the data transmission. You can see here the diagram. ISDN adapter is there. It generates a digital signal. It also directly converts the digital signal to the internet service provider. Dedicated digital telephone lines are there. Now again ISDN adapter is needed. Okay, this digital signal travels over a digital local telephone lines. So, DSL digital subscriber line is also a form of broadband connection and provides the connection over ordinary telephone lines. So, see different types of the techniques available for the digital subscriber. This is all not in your syllabus. Basically, we are discussing for the knowledge only, which is called the DSL, ADCL, asymmetric digital subscriber line, symmetric, high bit rate, rate adaptive DSL, very high bit rate, or ISDN. So now we move cable TV interconnection. You can see here the internet using the DSL modem. You can see router, and this is the modem, digital subscriber line, internet, DSL modem, and the computer. So cable TV internet connection is provided by the cable TV lines. It uses the coaxial cable. So cable TV internet connection uses the coaxial cable capable of transferring data at much higher speed than the common telephone line. So cable modem is used to access the services provided by the cable operator. That we use the set-top box, that is the cable modem, comprises of two connections, one for the internet service, other for the cable TV signals. So since cable TV internet connections share a set amount of bandwidth with a group of customers, so data transfer rate depends on the number of customers using the internet at the same time. So if the customers will be more, so bandwidth will thus you will get the less bandwidth, because that bandwidth is shared among the different customers. Here you can see the internet from high-speed node, and here the cable modems are there, and this is the cable TV converter splitter. So from this splitter is used to convert this signal for the cable TV and for the cable modem. Satellite internet connection is also there, high speed connection to the internet. Two types of satellite internet connections are there, one way or two way. So in the one way connection, you can only download the data, but if you want to upload, you need a dial-up access with the ISP. In two-way connection, you can download and upload the data by the satellite. It does not require any dial-up. You can see here, computer satellite dish is there, and this receivers satellite dish receives the signals from the satellites. Modem is here to convert these signals for the telephone line and web servers, as you can see. Now this is there to the this network operation center is there. Now from server data is fetched. Now this server sends the data with the help of this dish to the satellite, and satellite send to this, like this they are receiving. Now we some websites. What is websites? Now see, so here you can see just a minute. Now here you can see this is the website. So website. So what is the website? Website is a location on a web. So website is location on the web, means internet web servers, and it is hosted on a web server. So this website is a set of related web pages. Means website is the collection of web pages. It access using the internet address known as Uniform Resource Locator. Okay, so website is identified by a same domain name, which is called the address of the website, and these pages, web pages, are written in the HTML language, hypertext markup language. So this website is of two types: static website and dynamic website. And these static websites are created only HTML with the help of the only HTML language, and static websites are only used when the information is no more required to be modified, so that it will be keep for a long time. That is, information will be displayed on the website always. Now you can see here web server, and this is the internet, and this is the web server. This is the client. Client sends the request for a web page to this internet, and this request is forwarded by the internet to the web server. Request for the web page. Now web server is giving response by sending the web page HTML file, means the code, to the client. Now the browser of this client web browser translate that HTML and create a web page. Dynamic websites show the different information at different point of time. It is possible to change the portion of a web page without loading the entire web page. So it has been made possible using the Ajax technology. We are using the Ajax language for creating a dynamic website. So many server-side dynamic web pages are there. They are created by the server-side scripting languages with the help of the JavaScript code and the PHP. So there are server-side scripting parameters determine how to assemble a new web page, which includes setting up of more client-side processing. So now the next is the web portal. What is the meaning of the web portal? So web portal is a specially designed website that often serves as a single point of access for the information. So you'll at a one web page you'll find many links to access the information. It can also be considered a library of personalized and categorized content. A web portal helps in search navigation, personalization, notification, and information integration, and often provides the features like task management, collaboration, and business intelligence. So web portals are also called the portals, and this in the context of, if we talk in the context of the World Wide Web portal, this web portal can be defined as a gateway to a wide range of internet services, like the you on one platform you are getting the service of the email, search engines, e-commerce means for the commercial websites, shopping for the shopping. So this web portal is a website with a huge breadth of offerings. Now next is the web page. So web page is written in the web page is a document prepared with the help of the HTML language, and this web page are stored on the web server. So this web page is a digital page which may contain the text, hyperlink, videos, audios, images, tables, etc. And each web page is identified by a unique web address which is called the URL, Uniform Resource Locator. Home page. The first web page of a website. The first web page of a website is called the home page, and it contains the many information about a website along with the hyperlinks to the other parts of the websites. So next is the link. So in a data communication, a link is a line or channel that connects two devices. So data is transmitted between the connected devices through this channel. So how the two computers are connected over the internet, that is the link. Next is the hyperlink. So this hyperlink is an image, and hyperlink can be an image, can be an audio, can be a video, can be graphics, can be a text, and this hyperlink connects one web page to the another web page. So that's why on the home page we get different types of the hyperlinks which connects the first web page of the website to the other web pages of that websites. Next is the hypertext. Hypertext is a text with a special features. Hypertext are the special features of text uh, which link to the other documents of the web pages. So it is identified on a web page and it appears with an underline. All the hypertext are underlined and in the blue color you find over the web page. Next is the hypermedia. Hypermedia is a hypertext that includes the text, graphic, sound, or video. That is the hypermedia. Its border will be the of this video will be the blue color. Next is the uniform resource locator, URL. So what is this URL? URL is the web address which uniquely identifies the document over the internet. For example, you can see the URL that is for this www.trailspoint.com. See the URL. URL are of two types: absolute URL and the relative URL. So basically, this is not in our syllabus, absolute and relative URL. So we'll just little bit see. Absolute URL is the complete address of a resource on the web page. Means this complete address comprises of the protocols used, server name, path name, and file name. You can see here HTTP is the protocol, first the protocol name, TrailsPoint.com is the server name, and index.html is the file name of that. This is a completely absolute URL address. This protocol tells the web browser how to handle the file. So we have some other protocols that can be used to create a URL, that is the FTP, HTTPS, Gopher, Mail2, News. All these are the other protocols. So relative URL is the partial addressing of a web page. Unlike absolute gives the complete address, the protocol and server parts are omitted from the relative URL. So you can see here relative URLs are used for internal links only, that is to create a links to a file that are part of same website as the web pages on which you are placing the link. Example you can see here, to link an image on itutelspoint.com internet technology or internet reference models, you can use the relative URLs. So domain naming system and the IP address. So this is all for the today students. So in the next class we'll discuss the remaining topics of this lesson, that is the IP address and the domain naming system and the protocols. So this is all for today. Thank you for your kind attention.